Roommates for years, we crossed the line one night. Then I said I loved her, and she said it back. I've known Sophie since first grade. We grew up next door, rode the same bus, picked the same clubs, and ended up at the same college because doing life together felt normal. After school, we took jobs in the same city, and when rent got wild, we moved in as roommates. We split bills, shared groceries, and kept the same weekly shows. It never felt strange. It was just us. In high school, she dated a guy named Rick. A week after graduation, he drowned at a lake party. The call knocked the air out of her. At night, she texted that she couldn't sleep, so she'd come over and we'd watch clips until she drifted. That summer made us a team. In college and after, we both dated other people. Nothing stuck. It always slid back to me and her on a couch with takeout boxes. Years moved like that, easy and close. We never named it more than friendship. 2 weeks ago, we were watching wrestling like always. She got quiet. I heard a soft sniff and saw her wipe a tear. I muted the match and slid closer. Her nails tapped the remote. I put an arm around her and asked what was wrong. She said she was tired of trying. Dating felt like a wall. She said she used to get attention and now she didn't anymore. She said she felt chubby and invisible. I told her she was still pretty. I said people would be lucky to be with her. To make her smile, I added, if we weren't best friends, I would have tried to hook up with you 10 years ago. She turned and looked straight at me like I'd flipped a switch. The TV crowd roared, far away. My brain said, kiss her, so I did. She kissed back like she'd been holding her breath. We tugged off our shirts. Then a thought cut through the noise. What are we doing? I pulled back and told her we needed to think. We sat up, breathing hard. I said I didn't want to wreck the thing that holds my life together. She stared. We both nodded. We talked for 2 quick minutes. We said we'd survived harder things than one awkward night. We said we'd try, and if it got weird, we'd deal with it by talking. We went to my room. It was the best I've ever had. Not because it was wild, but because it felt safe. Like my whole body finally stopped bracing. After that, we kept doing it. Morning if our schedules lined up, and at night before bed. We kept saying we'd talk tomorrow when we weren't rushing to work or half asleep. Tomorrow kept moving. In the quiet moments, fear crept in. I'd watch her make coffee and feel a hard click in my chest. This is love. I thought about dates I'd cut short because I missed our couch. I realized why no one else ever felt right. It scared me. I rehearsed the talk in the shower and in the car. I typed notes in my phone and deleted them. I almost asked at a red light, then laughed at myself and drove home in silence. I started reading signs into everything. If she laughed at a text, my stomach flipped. If she said goodnight from her room, I stared at the ceiling. I told myself not to push. If she didn't want more, I'd have to put it back in a box. The idea made my throat tight. I kept checking the lock on my words, like if I spoke too fast, they would spill. I fixed a shelf, changed a bulb, ordered groceries, kept moving. Last night I hit a wall. When she got home, I said we needed to talk. She froze. My heart dropped. I wanted to back out, but I kept going. I asked to say it all first. She sat. I sat on the edge of the couch and pressed my palms together so I wouldn't shake. I told her being with her made something clear. I told her I've been in love with her a long time and didn't want to see it. When I said it, her eyes filled and she looked down. I thought I'd ruined the only safe place I have. I said I'd try to be a good friend anyway. She whispered, stop. We sat in silence. She shifted closer and wrapped her arms around me. Her shoulders shook. I didn't know if this was good or bad. I rested my chin on her hair. I kept my hands on her back and waited. Then she looked up. She said she'd been waiting for me to say that since college. She said the night on the couch when she cried wasn't only about dating. She said she thought I'd never move. She said after we started sleeping together, she kept putting off a talk because she thought it might be the closest we'd get to being a real couple. I asked if she wanted this for real. She laughed and cried and said yes. She said she was scared to lose me too. We pressed our foreheads together. The room went quiet in a new way. I could feel our breathing line up. I told her we've always been a team. We could talk about rules, money, and how to tell people later. I asked if we could just be here for a minute and let the dust settle. She nodded. I held her and she held me back. She kissed me slow. My hands stopped shaking. I let out a long breath. We stayed on the couch, warm and close, our phones buzzing somewhere on the table. I said okay. She said okay. We smiled without planning it. I squeezed her hand and she squeezed mine. Now our friends are saying I risked the friendship by confessing. Was I wrong?